Hey guys, what's up? Everything doing okay? Hey guys, what's up? Doing okay? Hey guys, what's up? Alright, let's get it. Okay. We're gonna try and make a new character. Yeah. Can you guys hear me better? Okay. I think this will be better. Alright, here we go. Okay, so my goal for this run is just in general to make the game as easy as possible for myself. Like, I don't want to struggle at all. We're gonna have a really easy time just trying to get through things, so. Do I bring the fire bombs just to kill the Asylum demon? I think I do. Honestly. Let's do average, I guess. I don't spend a whole lot of time doing something like this just because it can be a waste. Okay. Face. Commoner. Hair. We'll give him hair, that's fine. And his hair can be like, I don't know, let's go like dark purple. Be interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't really care a whole lot about customizing. Just because, like, at the end of the day, when you're talking about customizing, you're going to spend most of the game as a hollow.
The world
So.
was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons.
Okay. And here we start as just a wonderful hollow creature. And we're gonna keep moving. Okay. There's just not a whole lot to do at the start. us to the bonfire. I am going to try to kill the Asylum demon. We should be fine. I don't think it'll be a problem. But, you know what they say, right? Also, if I get hit, I think I just die, to be honest, so. I mean, I have plenty of fire bombs, so that's not a problem. The problem is genuinely just the fact that if I get hit, I just die. Yeah, that was a waste of time. Die for me? Okay. Glorious. Yeah, the Asylum Demon's hitboxes are kind of goofy. So, it's not too hard just to murk it, but you gotta be careful. You can always make mistakes. Let's see. On my first playthrough, I actually like struggled a bit with this guy. I actually did. The archers, he's not particularly hard or anything. He's just kind of painful to have to deal with. Now being stuck with a dagger is going to be a pain, so I would like to get my catalyst as soon as possible. Alright, let's get moving. Let's see, is there anything that I need to grab? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I don't even think I can get up there. I'm so used to Elden Ring with the jump button. It makes problems like that obsolete, but you know. Okay. Yeah, we're good here. And then we go up here. There's a ball up here. I know that. Yeah, you ain't gonna get me. I also died to that on my first playthrough. I always thought it was funny. There's a shortcut back to Firelink. Not to Firelink. We haven't even got to Firelink. There's a shortcut back to the entrance to the arena. I am not going to attempt to parry this guy at all. It is just not worth the effort. It's not worth the mental pain. Alright. Now we're gonna go talk to our friend. How you doing?
You're no hollow. Hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Yeah, of course.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Naturally, Estus flasks are one of, if not the most important thing in the game. In terms of items that you just kind of need. I don't know. I mean, it's totally possible to beat the game without Estus flasks. A lot of people actually have, but doing so would require a few things that are just tasks, really. I don't really know how else to describe it. Okay. I'm going to have my dagger. I'm going to get hit, probably. No. Okay, we're good. I'm going to have my dagger in my second equip slot. Just because, like, I don't feel the need to use soul arrow on these guys. It's not like it matters either way, in honesty, but I would just rather not use it. Having a limited quantity of spells is slightly annoying, but yeah, see, there goes my W parry. No, having a limited quantity of spells is a little annoying in comparison to just having a limited amount of mana or FP in Elden Ring. But, you know, I think both systems are good, and I feel like you genuinely get more out of what's here in Dark Souls, but I just don't know that it's just worth it in comparison. Like, it makes it can imaginably make farming a lot harder, right? Because, like, I don't even know. I don't know, I'll have to think about it, but in general, like, farming in Elden Ring with spells can be pretty easy, especially if you just have a ton of cerulean tear flasks. But here you only have a limited amount.
In the ancient legends, it is stated.
Sorry, I seen the cutscene. I figured you guys have seen it before. Okay. There's a ton of stuff here in Firelink that's really important, but I never remember where all of it is. So I'm at least going to try and get the souls. The souls are really important for later, because if I have the souls for it, then I can just make my character just really brokenly overpowered. And you can do that with any soul item, but I'm just trying to find, because there's several that are here, like actually. Oh, this guy, Big Chungus.
Hello, I am, if not.
He'll become important. You have to
Hello,
talk to him for a second.
No.
Yeah. He'll give you a copper coin. He'll also teach you
I have. So what would that?
miracles. If you're like a cleric or something, then it could be pretty good. You can also get Join's Covenant. Joining covenants aren't a big deal. It's just if you want the trophy for being in all of the covenants, then there you go. But yeah, he is a miracle merchant, which it's helpful, especially for being in the early game. I don't know how valuable all of his are in particular, but you know, at this point beggars can't really be choosy. So. And it's not bad by any stretch. Almost nothing that merchants sell in this game is just completely downright useless. But its actual use in comparison to where you're at in the game is really where the value question comes in. So, but no, I promise in this game you will not be given any items from merchants that are just completely useless, or there's no point in grabbing them. There's stuff down here that I would recommend getting. Just items everywhere. Do not go very far. I wouldn't say, like, you know, you need to go to the catacombs or whatever. I mean, there is something in the catacombs that you can get in the extremely early game called a Firekeeper Soul that is really important. But it comes with the acknowledgement, okay, if you go down this direction, kill me. Yeah, that's fine. That's going to the catacombs comes with the acknowledgement that you are going to die. Unless you are extremely good at Dark Souls or have played the game a lot and know how to path exactly for it, there's enemies in there that you cannot fight yet without an item. And it's effectively impossible, even if you had the item. With the weapons and the damage that you're doing now, it would be nigh on impossible for you to beat them, or really do anything of note to them, honestly. So, it's best to steer clear unless you just really want to upgrade your Estus Flask, which at this point, again, is not really necessary. I mean, if you just want to, it's absolutely worth it. But at this point, you do not need a +1 Estus Flask. It is absolutely no big deal to just have a regular Estus Flask. Yep. There's some other stuff here, again, that I don't remember the location of. Like, there's homeward bones and stuff that you can find. I just don't know where they would be. Alright. By the way, they can't get over here as far as I know. I've never seen them get over here. So, don't worry, they're not going to follow you. We also got a good weapon. If you're running like a strength build or something, something of that nature, then not the winged spear. If you're running, say, a dex build, though, the winged spear is really good. But for a strength build, the Zweihander is good. Both weapons are good. Really good, especially for the early game. But they're good for different builds. If you're like just really wanting to be a strength build, you're not gonna want to use the winged spear, especially since you have the option of the Zweihander. On my first playthrough, I ran a strength build with a character named Eliza. By the end of the game, and generally for honestly most of the game, I was extremely over-leveled though. And I was using the Black Knight's Greatsword, which is one of the most overpowered weapons in the game. So, yeah, so, another thing, if you're ever near a ledge and you're fighting just like enemies like this, it's really easy to just knock them off on occasion. So, I would recommend knocking them off if you have the chance. Enemies also drop items, particularly like armor items and things of that nature. So, the dagger is pretty funny to use, just to like press buttons, but it's not a great weapon. Even if you level it up a lot, I mean, you're not getting a whole lot of value out of a dagger, which sucks. You know, I mean, I would like daggers to be good, but they just, I mean, even a fully upgraded dagger, it's not going to be great. Okay. So our general goal right now is just to get to the next bonfire. That's all that you need to do. Don't try and complicate it. Just get to the bonfire. There'll be some enemies. They're by no means a big challenge. Even if you're doing it with your fists, you should be fine. The only ones that are really problematic are the ones that throw, like the one I just got hit by, are the ones that throw the fire bombs, but they're really not even a big problem. Okay. So once you're here, we're gonna go up and just follow the stairs. The bonfire is, that thing is not gonna damage you, by the way, so don't worry if you get hit by it like I did. So there's gonna be a bonfire up and to the left where you see that bridge. I'll show you. It's generally a good idea just to get here, and then light the bonfire. You might not be able to rest at it because the enemies may follow you, as I'm showing here, but there's not just going to be a ton that follow you, and you should be able to deal with them without an issue. I'm going to go ahead and switch to solar arrow just to make this easier. Okay. Now we can rest at the bonfire. None of them drop anything. Okay, I'm actually not going to level yet. We're going to cheat to level. So here we go. Follow my path and just go over here. These guys are annoying, especially with just a dagger. So now there's a character down here that we need to meet. Meet the undead merchant.
Well,
okay, nobody followed us.
Sometimes
Sometimes they will follow you. It's really rare though. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get standard arrows, and we're gonna get as much as we can. Since there's not a lot of us for us. Okay, he can be mean sometimes. So what we're gonna try to do is get 999. Okay, and that's going to be a really big deal, and I'll show you why. To do this, in order to get 999, what we're gonna do is just farm. and until we have enough to get to 999. Now, you could just use a soul item if you just want to get there and you don't want to spend the time farming. But I wouldn't recommend it, because every soul item is going to be for what we do. So, and you may have seen this level up glitch before, but it's always helpful. So, and it will take a little bit to farm enough, but you know. So let's see, just from killing those enemies, we've gotten, you know, an extra 20, not 20. We've got an extra probably 15 or so souls that we can arrows that we can purchase. You know. Felt wonderful. Okay, so for these guys, if they're annoying you, you can just walk around and backstab them. There's not exactly much they can do about it, really. So. Okay. And then this guy, he's really easy. He'll pull out a melee weapon. Sometimes he does. Okay, well, he just died. Up here, if you look, by the way, there'll be a shortcut. We can kick down that ladder later, and it's not very later, it's just a little bit later, but we'll be able to kick down that ladder, and it'll be important. But we certainly don't need to, right? We certainly can't right now, to be honest. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to switch to Soul Arrow, just to make the task of farming through this a lot easier. When you rest, you get more soul arrows or pyromancies, whatever. If you're using any sort of magic, you'll get your soul arrows. As far as I'm aware, if I'm wrong about that, there'll be somebody to correct me in the comments, or there'll be somebody to correct me on stream. So you know, I am streaming this, and I intend to upload it to YouTube. We'll just see how that goes. Okay. And then there's these fellas down here whose soul arrow should comfortably one-shot. Even like unupgraded. Okay. So now we're up to almost 4,200, one off of 4,200. So.
Oh, still keeping him? Then go ahead. Never heard.
Okay. How many can we purchase now? We're looking at 4,190. So.
Throw me. You haven't got much, right? You.
Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the glitch now for the interest of time. I know that y'all may not want to sit here and watch me farm. I would recommend just sitting there and farming, but you know. Okay. So here's the glitch at its core, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick any soul item. If you have multiple soul items of a single type, drop it to where you're left to 1. So let's say that I have the soul of a lost undead. I'm going to drop 2. Okay, to where I'm left with 1. There'll be 2 more on the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to change order, click on soul of a lost undead, and put it right underneath the Estus flask. Okay, we're good on that. So next we're going to go over to the standard arrow. We're going to drop, set to the max, and then cancel. Okay, so just cancel on that. Don't actually drop them. And then we're going to go to this, and we're going to go down to, should be brightness, I think, or actually it's quick game. No, I'm going to do brightness. So press A and RB or X and R1 at the same time, and it may take a few tries, and then you're going to get what's called a double menu. So you're going to click OK, then you're going to go down to quick game, and it'll automatically be on the second part of your usage items, right? So click quick game, use item, 419. This is going to give us 83,000 souls, okay?
Oh, I hope you.
And we're going to do this repeatedly. So now we're going to purchase the remaining arrows that we need. I don't actually know how many we need, but 580 ought to get that done. Yeah, that's actually just the max that we need. So, okay. Now we're going to do this again. So, Now I'm going to use the large soul of a lost undead. We're going to drop one, change the order, right underneath the Estus Flask, and go over here to arrows, drop 999, cancel, and then brightness. Okay. Now go down to quick game, use item 999. Yep. We are getting rich. Now we're just gonna keep doing this. Change order. Light firebomb. Okay, oh my bad. Okay. So this is going up here. Or yeah, okay. So change order. Okay, if it's being stubborn, then you can just kind of move it like that. And there you go. So now you can change order. And okay, so it's not wanting to cooperate, so we're gonna drop one for the lost undead, and we're just gonna do it like this, just so we can get it to work. So cancel, brightness. Okay. Quick game. 999. Boom. And then we're gonna use this large soul of a lost undead. It's already at the second, so we're just gonna... You don't actually have to drop anymore, but sometimes it's like kind of weird about it, so I would just do it just in case. 999. Yep. And as you can see, we're already at an unreasonable amount of souls, so... Okay, see, so that's what I was talking about, it being weird. You might have to actually go into drop and then select the number and then do it. Yeah. And sometimes it takes a second to actually get the thing to do it, but once you do, trust me, it is well worth it. So now we have effectively what we need. Okay, so now we're gonna run back to our bonfire. All of the enemies are well dead and gone. All the ones that are dangerous, for that matter, so. And now we're just gonna level up. Level up whatever you want. You are by no means forced into picking a certain thing. I'm going to level up a lot of intelligence, I believe. That's what I should be leveling. So. Yes, I will be leveling intelligence up to 50, I'd say. And I'm going to level my vitality up a bit, maybe to 30. Some attunement slots would be helpful. And I will level up endurance a bit for extra rolls, and strength, maybe just in case I find a weapon I want to grab. Okay. So now we're far stronger than we need to be for anything at this point in the game. Alright. And you can still farm, you can look for more soul items. There is more that I just forgot about, or I generally don't remember where are, but yeah. So we're pretty well, you know, powerful at this stage. We're more than equipped to deal with whatever comes next. So. Now, that didn't feel good because he hit me, but as you level up in this game, your resistance, which is basically your defense, just goes up naturally, and makes attacks hit not nearly as hard. And honestly, just being blunt, okay, with 1100 HP, it's almost impossible for any enemy at this stage in the game to pose any sort of problem for you. They really aren't going to affect you in any meaningful way. That felt wonderful. My girlfriend is calling me, so hang on. had to decline the call real quick. I'll explain to her in a second. Okay. So, she's still trying to call me. Okay, I'll get to her. As soon as I finish the Taurus Demon, I'll go ahead and end the stream, just because I'm sure that she wants to talk. But at this point, we're just worried about getting past the Taurus Demon, which is going to be our next boss fight, and they're about to appear. And they're about to appear by jumping up onto the bridge. Oh, by the way, those enemies will stand at the edge of the fog gate, but they cannot harm you. So do not worry about that. So, realistically, the Taurus Demon should just die to these spells. Like, it's going to die before it has any realistic chance of doing anything to me. So there is an easier way to do this if you aren't just massively overleveled or you decided not to do that. So simply go over to this ladder, and we'll do what we normally do with the Asylum Demon. So we just go up here, we drop down, and drop attack, and the Taurus Demon just kind of dies. So that's pretty much all there is to it. And that's the Taurus Demon done and dusted. So, we're just going to follow this path, keep going along here. We're going to go ahead and just keep moving. And so over here is going to be where we're going to use the residence key, which you can get from the Undead Merchant. So, there's going to be a dragon that come up and breathe fire, so do not worry about these fellas. The dragon will take care of it for you. You might take a little bit of damage like I did there. It's nothing to be concerned about. So yeah, we're just going to keep moving. There'll be some enemies that you run into along here. The only annoying ones are the rats, which are slightly problematic at times, but, you know, I accidentally double casted. Oops. But yeah, there's nothing here, if you followed my leveling glitch, that poses any real threat to you except for gravity. Now the rats can poison you, as they just did to me, which can be a problem, but they drop humanity, and you should have plenty of Estus flasks, so you're not looking at too big of a problem. Okay. So this part of the game actually gave me a lot of trouble when I was going through my first playthrough. So what we're gonna do, our goal is to just get to, there's nothing that you should worry about as far as this, because you may be poisoned, you may be having some trouble. Just rush here. Okay, that guy is gonna try and close the gate, which he will be able to do. These enemies are slightly hard to just run through. Now, make sure that you try to get there before the guy closes the gate, or else you may have some problems. So, what we're going to do from here is just run. Over here, we're going to get to another bonfire. This bonfire is important because it rests right above Andre. Andre is a blacksmith. He's the first that you encounter in the game. I don't think even with skips it's possible to encounter someone before him unless you just don't talk to him. And by the way, when you rest at the bonfire, your health gets restored and it'll clear any status effects, so you are good. You don't have to worry about taking any further damage. So we're going to go down here and we're going to meet Andre. So this is Andre. He can upgrade your weapons. You know, and if you don't have the stuff that you need to upgrade it, you can purchase it from him, Titanite shards, and he can get it up to +5 pretty easily. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. So I don't think I picked up any more soul items. If I did it, I didn't mean to. Yeah, okay. Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and the video here. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Y'all have a good one. Fallen God, signing out.